Good day, everyone. Good day. I'm David Guerra, and today is Tuesday, February 13, 2018. How are you? Continuing, we're knee deep in it. Efficiency in the workplace. What do you do? How do you make it better? How do you make things, how do you make efficiency in the workplace? Here's one of the things you can do. And when it comes to efficiency in the workplace, there's only one thing that really, truly, aside from a feedback system like I talked about yesterday, that way you benchmark and you know how things are going, you also set standards. And you set those standards and you work those standards and you make sure that everybody can follow those standards and meet the standards. And those that can't meet the standards, folks, it's simple. One of two things happens. One of two things can happen. You train them and you retrain them and you train them until they can meet the standards. And if you've gone through a progressive level, then it's time to cut that cord and let them know, hey, look, I'm sorry, we've worked with you, and you just can't do it, and you know that we worked with you, and you're still not meeting the standard, it's time to go. Or it's time to move them someplace else within the organization where they can meet the standards at that level. Because again, it's not about cutting people loose, but it's about ensuring that everyone meets the standards that the organization has set. And sometimes it's about taking that chance on meeting taking a chance on the individual to meet those standards. Sorry about that. Work with individuals. Sometimes all it takes is just like turn them and off they go. And sometimes you really got to work with them. But for the most part, people will do the job they signed up to do. People will do the job they said they know how to do. If it's just bringing them up to speed, well, then there you go. But speaking of bringing up to speed, sometimes you have to work on those standards and revise them and revisit them constantly. Annually, biannually, every quarter, every other month. Why? Because you want to remain relevant. You want to ensure that those standards are relevant to what's going on in the marketplace, what's going on in your industry, and most of all, what's going on in your organization. Because if somebody's bringing something in that's already head and shoulders above the standard and everybody else is operating at this level outside of your organization, you're still down here. I don't need to tell you what happens in that gap. That's right, people go. They go someplace else because they want the higher standards. So work at keeping your standards relevant and making sure that you're up to date on those standards. If they're higher standards, by all means, please don't dummy it down. Keep them up there, because that's the only way you're going to succeed, and that's the only way your organization is going to succeed, because you can tout that, hey, our standards are head and shoulders above everybody else. And isn't that what the customer wants? More bang for their buck? So again, set those standards, work with your employees, but also revisit those standards on a periodic basis to ensure that they're up to date, and most of all, that they're relevant. I'm Dave Guerra. I will talk to you tomorrow.